Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Let's Play Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Today we are going to be taking on our first gym of the series, as well as taking a look around this town, and doing a little bit more when it comes to Team Aqua, as they're going to be running amok, as always. They tend to be around these parts running amok. I go into the school here briefly. I know that, we don't have to talk to everybody, but sometimes you can pick up some cool TMs and things like that if you talk to, people in these early game cities and things like that. Usually I remember where a lot of stuff is on revisits. This generation, not so much, as I've stated many, many times before. This is my least favorite Pokemon generation of all of them. So, yeah, part of that is I don't know where a lot of stuff is, and because I don't know where a lot of stuff is, tend not to like it as much, and, that means, do I want to do some more exploration? Probably not, but it would be nice to do so, because then maybe I could actually paint this generation in a more positive light. But let's make our way straight to the gym. Get a cool look at the gym. Here's the leader. I believe she's Roxanne. Well, hello to you too, ma'am. I have a feeling this was supposed to be cut. You guys texting somebody back or taking a phone call real quickly here, but there we go. Yep, there's Roxanne. I'm not sure what she's going on about, but honestly, she's the rock-type gym leader. Right, she's the Brock of this generation. Let's take a look at our Pokemon. I want Wingull, aka Miller, to sort of be the highlight here. Because I feel like after this, maybe he has one more good gym in him, and then he's going to be probably left to the side. But we shall see. You know, I do know he'll definitely be useful here. Will he be useful in the next gym? I believe so, but we'll see when we get there. But here we go. Obviously, against the Geodude, he's going to have no problem. Now, some of the Geodudes have, Iron Defense, I believe it's called. So that means, regardless of the hit, they'll be able to survive for one more, which is kind of... It's more annoying than it is anything else, because Geodudes can't do much to the rest of our team. But, you know, they can cause a massive problem here. Especially if they know Rock Tomb against Wingull. Or, as I like to call him, Miller. So there could be some issues. But luckily, it looks like the Iron Defense doesn't work every time, because we just hit that Geodude and we were fine. There we go, we beat that guy. Do-do-do-doodly-doo-doo-doo. Let's see what we got here. Another trainer. Like I said, this gym is going to be, less interesting than most of them, because it's your first gym, so all the Pokemon have to be, relatively low level for most people playing. And because of that, you're going to see a lot of Geodudes here. Just because there really isn't a lot of new rock types. I think, I forget what Aggron, maybe it's Aron, his first evolution. It would have been cool to incorporate him in here. That would have been nice, but... we're not seeing that, so it is what it is. And, yeah. I don't know, I'm doing this while watching a football game here silently, I'm gonna have to admit. And, yeah. My team is losing, so not so thrilled there. But there we go, Miller was able to do that, and with the EXP share, at least everybody on the team is getting experience, everybody's doing a little bit better. It's always nice to see that. And I'm not gonna, try and skip any of these trainers, because I think they're all gonna be really good experience for Miller. I think this is gonna be his gym. Whether or not he makes it to many other gyms is yet to be decided, but up until this point in time, I feel like he could do a good job. We could really let him run with the show here. He's got it in him. He's got that dog in him. Now the puppy's looking at me crazy. He's got that dog in him. And Jameson leveled up. Good job, Jameson. Jameson will likely need to make an appearance here. I have a feeling that Miller is good enough to beat all of those trainers, but maybe not good enough to beat Roxanne. So we may have to have a Jameson show up here. Here we go. Versus Roxanne. Let's see what we got. Hopefully not too many, like, technical glitches. Like I said, the game has been, like, right there. You could probably tell it was a little slow. It's been slow and a little glitchy here and there. Overall, it hasn't been bad, but it hasn't been performing to the level that I wish it would perform. There we go. That Geodude has that effect on him, so we can't just one-shot kill him. And there goes Miller. Miller is down. I vote we use Jameson here. Jameson's still one level under Fireball. I think right here we could get away with a tackle. Oh, using a potion. Are you kidding me? Tackle's not going to knock out then. Maybe a Mega Drain will, though. That's a lot of health coming our way. Yeah, there we go. That's a fair amount. Fireball grew up a level. Nose Pass. I think I'm going to stay out, because even if I can't beat it with Jameson, Jameson should have some pretty killer status moves that can make a difference here, right? So we'll start out with Leech Seed. So that way we're continuously getting health dealt back to us. Every single turn. Then I'm going to go Stun Spore to cause a bit of paralysis. And now I think we're just going to Mega Drain it out. But we should be getting both health from the Leech Seed and the Mega Drain each time we use it. So I feel like we're actually in a really good position to do a lot of damage here. Like now moving forward. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't see any issues in this strategy here. There's not, like, even, yeah, the moves that are super effective against me aren't going to be massive headaches. Just use Mega Drain again. Hopefully that's it. That should be it. There we go. Jameson gets a good amount of EXP and levels up in the process. Always good news there. EXP share. Now, unfortunately, Miller's dead, so he's not getting EXP, but you can't always get what you want. Pretty sure I heard either the Teletubbies or the Rolling Stones say that one time, so you take your pick. There we go. We got our first gym badge. You know, what else can you say? It's our first one in the series. It's always an exciting one when you get that first little jump up in the world of Pokemon. It's always nice to have. Let's see, I think she gives us Rock Tomb too, which we can look at the stats on that. I think I do off camera. It's nothing to write home about at this point in time. I don't think we'll be using it. I think, like, the ratio of damage it does to the amount of, excuse me. The amount of accuracy it has is, like, so subpar. Like, the difference between the two. But here we go. An Aqua Grunt stole the machine parts. This guy's running after him. It's like, I'll stop you. And then when I decide to give up, I'll ask this 11-year-old to stop you. Because that sounds like a good plan. Now, we did a cut there. So after going, healing up, getting some items and things like that, we are good to go and chase after this guy. And hopefully get these parts back from him. I don't foresee it being a huge issue. I do want to see... Yeah, let's take a look out for trainers here while we're up here, though. Like I said, up here, at this point in time, I think Miller should still be competitive. You know, is he going to be the best Pokemon in these situations? Like in this case, definitely not. But I think if we used Echoed Voice here enough, he would do a good job. I don't know, Water Gun might do fine, too. Yeah, that's good enough. It was a critical hit, so maybe that helped, but... It's funny, like... Yeah, he's such a bad... Wingull is such a terrible Pokemon in general. Like, usually really, really bad. But for the early game, he's not that terrible. Like, I get it, his stats come, like, even mid-game are absolute, complete and utter garbage. There's a running joke about, whatever, he has, like, the huge bottom beak, and it's kind of shaped like a toilet, and everybody just compares him to a toilet later, in the game, like, when ranking him amongst other Pokemon, but as a flying water type, he's actually okay, I would say. That's how I would word him. He's not a good choice. He's okay. But there's so many other good choices. And I think we have a much better water-type Pokemon that I want to use. Even if I don't use the one that I want to use, I have a backup one that's even better than Wingull. So I think we'll be fine. Plus, whatever... I'm sure eventually we'll end up getting... something else that has the flying type associated with it. There's so many options. Even if we go like Skarmory or something like that, there's so many good opportunities in this game that like we don't need to worry about, oh, where our flying type needs to cover more than one thing. Like it's just not something that like realistically should be a concern when playing through this, because there's so many good flying type opportunities. Like, don't think just because it has the water type associated with it, it's superior, because it's not. It's actually below in probably every single regard that it can be compared to any other flying type Pokemon. Just it has a nice benefit of being a water typing. And you could say, well, what's the drawback with that? Well, let's think of electric type here. Any electric type move is going to do devastating damage to this thing. On top of it, if you want to use it against rock type Pokemon, rock type attacks are still going to be super effective against this guy. You're not really getting much bang for your buck out of this pairing. Early game, like I said, terrific, but you know, you can do better. And we will do better. Here we go, Silcoon. Silcoon's actually like a really cool Pokemon in this game because there's like the male and female version, I would call it. It's technically not that. But you can have two different versions of Silcoon, and it'll turn into a different Pokemon, depending on sort of the color and shape. Which I think has to do with, like, stats and things like that, and you could determine how to pick the Pokemon per the one that you want, but you can either get a Beautifly or Dustops or something like that. I'm definitely saying it wrong, but it's either a butterfly or a moth, essentially. And I think both are pretty cool. I always went with Beautifly when I played this, like, the first couple times around. That was, like, always my go-to choice. Much like when I played Generation 1, I tend to go for Caterpie. And then get Butterfree, so that way we can use Psychic and things like that in the first couple gyms if we need to really quickly. Like, just sort of off the cuff. Have a good Psychic move along with a stun, a sleeping move, and a poison move. Like, just a really good Pokemon to lock up the opposing team. Which I know if you're watching this, you're like, Average Joe. That is really hard to believe. You're an all-out attacker. But I promise, that's how it goes sometimes. I don't use it all the time, but it's very, very good as a backup Pokemon. Always happy to use it. I would like to do, at some point in time, a Let's Play of Let's Go Pikachu with just, like, my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon that I feel like don't get used a lot. Because the EXP shares there is so generous, and you can catch just boatloads of Pokemon and level them up way above level if you wanted to. It would be such a fun experiment, because I would do stuff like that, right? Like, obviously, you have Pikachu, Butterfree is a really good one that I like that's like that. Oh! As I'm talking nonsense, look at this, our first evolution! First evolution of the series! Man, the jump from 2D to 3D graphics did not do this guy any justice. He just looks like an angry chicken with a marijuana leaf on his head and a set of balls for legs. That's what he looks like. Sorry. I know it's only the 3rd episode in the series. I shouldn't be talking like that, but I mean, look at him. And he's even got like a happy trail going on. He learned double kick. That's pretty good. Man, he just looks awkward. His mid-stage evolution. The firefighting type is very, very dominant. Do not get me wrong. It is one of the best choices you can make. If Mudkip did not exist in this generation, it would be one... It's got to be in the top 5 Pokemon of this generation. Let me know if I'm wrong. Excuse me, sorry. A little bit of a chest cold. If I am wrong, drop down in the comments below. If you want to argue it, what are the other 5 that are better than him? What are the other 5 that are better than Blaziken? Drop them down in the comments below. I would like to hear it. Because to me, I think he's a top tier Pokemon. Of this generation, he's definitely in the top 5. I just don't think there's any ifs, ands, or buts about it. But like I said, yeah, if I'm wrong, let me know. I'm willing to listen to reason. Another soda pop here. The man having another soda pop is obviously willing to listen to reason, right? That seems logical. Dog, get a sip of water. Hopefully that's not too disturbing for y'all. Okay, they're blocking that, so we can't get in there just yet. That's alright. I think we have to go save the... We have to go do the Team Aqua stuff anyways. Oh no, he stole Pico. You stole Pico? How could you steal Pico? I'm gonna go and take a look on the mountain here before we go in here, I think. Sometimes there's... Yeah, I see a Pokeball over there. Gonna say, sometimes there's some collectibles and things like that we can get. An X special attack. Okay, an item I will likely never use. That's fine. At least we found it. Give it that. Let's head on in to the other side. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, doo-doo-doo. Let's go get this Pokeball. I'm really surprised that I haven't come across a Pokemon yet. Like, I feel like we've been in here an alarming amount of time for a Pokemon not to show up. Well, very alarming. Jesus, okay. Maybe they don't spawn until after we talk to this guy? And battle him? That seems very bizarre to me. Normally, you can't go into a cave and make more than 3 steps without a Zubat or a Geodude attacking you. So, I'm very shocked. But he's just got a Poochyena here. This is gonna be no problem. I think we should use echoed voice. I know that's probably extremely annoying for you guys to hear at this point in time in the Let's Play. Like, I promise Miller is not going to hang around on the team forever, but... For right now, against normal type Pokemon, it likely is his best move. This could be a 2-hit KO, which would be really impressive. It wasn't. There goes Miller. Like I said, Miller's sort of our sacrificial lamb at this point in time in the Let's Play, if I'm gonna be brutally honest. It's not that he's bad. It's just like there's much better options. Let's throw out Fireball here. It's been a while since we've seen him on screen. And the fighting type's gonna be super effective against normal typing, so might as well get that in there. There we go. We dealt with the Grunt. What do you gotta say about that, Grunt? I like how they look in this game. everything's animated well. If it ever comes across and you're looking at it and you're like, man, that looks really bad, it's probably the emulation more than anything else. It's likely not the game. Just the emulation can get a little stuck here. You know? It can be a little tricky to deal with when we're doing these Let's Plays. But there we go. Pico! Pico has been reunited. Let's go down and we'll talk to this guy. He gave us a great ball for helping. I hate to burst this bubble because I did it off screen and you guys didn't see it, but I bought about 15 great balls before we went on that endeavor. So, he didn't give us a rare item there. He gave us something that we could buy at the general store at this point in time, which is always a little aggravating. If I'm going to be brutally honest, that's kind of like a kick in the teeth. He should have given us an Ultra Ball. Or like some rare berry that would be really hard to find at this point. Or even a Premier Ball, because you can't outright buy them. That would be better. Versus like what he gave us is just kind of like, hey, I'm going to give you something you can buy for 50 bucks. Right downtown. Just give it to you for free. You going to catch something with one of them? Probably not. You probably need at least 3. But here you go. All for you, buddy. And we got an add-on for some of the Poke stuff that we'll likely never end up using. In all reality, just because we're emulating it, we don't actually have that second screen to like tap with. I set up the controls for it. I have an Xbox One controller here that we're using to play with, just because that's a little bit easier. Sometimes when I do these Let's Plays, I like to do them when I'm on my my indoor bike or like on the treadmill. I like to play a little bit, but yeah. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you liked this episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff is greatly motivational for myself and continuing to make videos just like this now and in the near future. For the foreseen future, we are going to be playing this Let's Play here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Donkey Kong Country here on Mondays and Wednesdays. That series should be dropping relatively soon comparatively to this series. I would think like episode 1 came out the day before it, if I'm thinking correctly, or maybe it was one more day before that, but Donkey Kong Country episode 1 should be out, so if you're interested in seeing that, go ahead and check it out. That is by far a much shorter series, so it's a lot easier to just bite and swallow that Let's Play. I think I'm keeping everything below 15 minutes at the maximum. The first couple episodes are going to be under 10, so a bit more bite size of a Let's Play. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I appreciate all of you watching. If you made it this far in the episode, drop down dogs in the comments below, and we'll see y'all here in the next one. Until then, as always, peace out, Girl Scout.